How did the two guards acquaint themselves with each other?
I don't know, Zach. Why don't you tell me?
They Shakespeare's. Welcome to Shakespeare Night 2015. My name is Zach.
And I'm Nick, and we'll be your host for this evening. Now, tonight, you'll be seeing 8 scene studies written by arguably one of the greatest playwrights of all time.
The drama majors were given either Romeo and Juliet, A Midsummer's Night Dream, Macbeth, or Hamlet to work with as a group, one of the scenes.
Sadly, tonight you won't be seeing Hamlet because there are some scheduling conflicts.
But going with that, we hope you enjoy the show, but no flash photography as the actors will get scared. Thank you.
There once was an Athenian cast
who performed a play of the past,
with flute as Thisbe
and bottom so silly the process would not move fast.
Is all our company here?
Your best to call them generally man by man according to the script.
Here is the scroll of every man's name, which is thought fit through all Athens to play in our interlude before the Duke and Duchess on his wedding day at...
First, good Peter Quince, say what the play treats on. Then, read the names of the actors. And so, grow to a point.
Merry our play is, the most lamentable comedy and the most cruel death of Pyramus and Thisbe. Answer as I call you. Nick Bottom.
Ready? Name what part I am for and proceed.
You, Nick Bottom, are set down for Pyramus.
What is Pyramus? A lover or a tyrant?
Oh, it is a lover that kills himself most gallant for love.
That will add some tears in the true performing of it. If I do it, let the audience look to their eyes. I will move storms. I will condolence some measure. To the rest, yet my chief humor is for a tyrant. I could play Ercles rarely, or Parchitera cannon to make all split. The raging rocks and shivering shocks shall break the locks of prison gates. And Phoebus' car shall shine from far and make it mar the foolish fates. This was lofty. Now, name the rest of the players. This is Arcles' vein! A tyrant's vein! A lover is more condoling!
Francis Flute.
Here, Peter Quince.
Flute, you must take Thisbe on you.
What is Thisbe? A wandering knight?
It is the lady that Pyramus must love.
Nay, Faith, let me not play a woman. They have a beard coming.
That's all one. You may play it in a mask, and you may speak as small as you will.
And I may hide my face. Let me play Thisbe too. I will speak in a monstrous little voice. Thisbe! Thisbe!
No, you must play Pyramus. And Flute, you Thisbe.
Well, proceed.
Tom Snout.
Here, Peter Quince.
You, Pyramus's father. Myself, Thisbe's father. Snug, you, the lion's part. And I hope here is a play fitted.
Let me play the lion's part too. I will roar you that I will do any man's heart good to hear me. I will roar you that I will make the Duke say, "Let him roar again! Let him roar again!"
And you should do it too terribly that you would fright the Duchess and the ladies, that they would shriek, and that would be enough to hang us all.
But I will aggravate my voice so that I will roar you as gently as any sucking dove. I will roar you toward any nightingale.
You can play no part, but Pyramus. For Pyramus is a sweet-faced man, a proper man as one shall see on a summer's day, a most lovely, gentlemanlike man. Therefore, you must needs play Pyramus.
Well, I will undertake it. What beard do I best play it in?
Why, what you will.
Well, I will discharge in either your straw-colored beard, or your orange tawny beard, or your purple and gray beard, or your French crown-colored beard. You are perfect yellow.
Some of your French crowns have no hair, and then you shall play barefaced. But, masters, here are your parts. I am to request you, entreat you, and desire you to con them by tomorrow night. Meet me a mile without the town by moonlight. There we shall rehearse. For in the city we will be dogged with company and our devices known. In the meantime, I will draw a bill of property such that our play wants. I pray you, fail me not.
We will meet, where we will rehearse most obscenely and courageously. Take pains, be perfect. Adieu.
At the Duke's Oak we meet.
Hello, everybody. So, this next scene you're about to see, just to explain it a little easier, I got a poem from the internet written by an 11-year-old, and I made some edits. So, yeah. I'll tell you a gruesome tragedy, one of the worst you ever read. 3 witches caused Macbeth to act, and spoiler, everyone ends up dead. Well, mostly everyone. Macbeth had won a victory. He would be Thane of Cawdor. Lady Macbeth pushed a plan that was oh so full of gore. Macbeth was to kill King Duncan and take the crown for himself, framing the sleeping guards and sneaking away in stealth. So, this scene that I, Saskia Muller, directed is from Macbeth, Act 1, Scene 7. So in this scene, Macbeth told Lady Macbeth that he was going to kill King Duncan, and they both have him over, King Duncan and his sons, to their house, and it's a great banquet, but then Macbeth gets cold feet. So this scene is the couple battling it out, and Lady Macbeth pushing for Macbeth to kill King Duncan. So, a little twist that I put on the scene is that it is set in the 50s. Gilly Cohen plays Macbeth, Alicia Chilach plays Lady Macbeth, and thank you for listening. Enjoy.
Done when 'tis done, and 'twere well it were done quickly. The assassination could trammel up the consequence and catch with his surcease success, that but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here. But here, upon this bank and shoal of time, we jump the life to come. But in these cases we still have judgment, though we but teach bloody instructions which, being taught, return to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of the poison chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First as I'm his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed. Then as his host, who should against his murder shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, as Duncan hath borne his faculty so meek, hath been so clear in his great office that his virtue shall plead like angels, trumpet tongue negates the deep damnation of his taking off, and pity, like a naked newborn babe striding the blast or heaven's cherubim, horsed upon the slightless quarries of the air, a tear shall drown the wind. I have no spurs to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition which o'erleaps itself and falls on the other. How now? What news?
He is almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
Know you not he has?
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which would be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Drunk when you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since? And wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time, such I count thy love. Art thou feared to be thine own act in valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have with no esteem, living the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not, when upon I would? Like the poor cat at that age.
Prithee, peace. I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is not.
What beast wast then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you'd be so much more than a man, nor time nor place the then and here, and yet you would make both. I have given suck and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked the nipple from its boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this.
If we should fail?
If we fail, but screw your courage to a sticking place, it will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, whereto rather shall his hard journey soundly invite him? His two chamberlains will I with wine and wassail, so convince the warder of the brain shall be a fume, and the receipt of reason a limp beck only. When in swinish sleep their drenched natures lies in a death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
Will it not be received when we mark with blood those sleepy two of his own chamber, and use their very daggers that they have done?
Who dares receive it other? As we shall make our griefs and claim a roar upon his death.
I am decided. And bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mock the time with fair show. False face must hide what the false heart doth know.
Those fingers in my hair that sly come hither.
go when it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell. It summons thee to heaven or to hell.
Sorry. Deep in her sleep, Lady Macbeth steeped her hands in pools of blood. She had not woke, but yet she spoke about the deeds she'd done. The worst was yet to come. So this scene I directed, and it's from Macbeth, and it's Act 5, Scene 1. And in this scene, Lady Macbeth is sleepwalking, and a gentlewoman and doctor have come to help her. And in her sleep, she reveals her plot, where she convinced her husband, Macbeth, to murder a bunch of government officials so he could move up in the ranks. So enjoy the show.
I have 2 nights' watch with you, but can perceive no truth in your report. When was it she last walked?
Since His Majesty went into the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, afterwards seal it, and again return to bed. Yet, all this while in a most fast asleep.
A great perturbation in nature to receive at once the benefit of sleep and do the line effects of watching. In this slumbery agitation, besides her walking and other actual performances, what at any time have you heard her say?
That, sir, which I cannot report after her.
You make to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Neither to you nor anyone, having no witness to confirm my speech. Lo you, here she comes. This is her very guise, and upon my life fast asleep. Observe her. Stand close.
How came she by that light?
Why, I stood by her. She has light by her continually. 'Tis her command.
You see her eyes are open.
Aye, but their senses shut.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands.
It is an accustomed action with her to seem thus washing her hands. I've known her to continue this in a quarter of an hour.
Yet, here's a spot.
Hark, she speaks. I will set down what comes from her to satisfy my remembrance the more strongly.
Out, damn spot! Out, I say! 1, 2. Why then 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie, a soldier and a feared. What need we fear who knows it when none can call our power to account? Yet, who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him?
You like that?
The thane of fight had a wife. Where is she now? What, will these hands never be clean? No more that, my lord, no more that. You mar all with this starting.
Go to, you have known what you should not.
She has spoke what she should not, I am sure of it. Heaven knows what she has known.
Yet, here's the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia could not sweeten this little hand. Oh. Oh.
What a sigh is there. The heart is sorely charged.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body.
This disease is beyond my practice. Yet I have known those which have walked in their sleep who have died holily in their beds.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out on his grave.
Even so.
To bed. To bed. There's knocking at the gate. Come. Come. Please. Come. What's done cannot be undone. To bed. To bed. To bed. To bed. To bed. To bed.
Will she go to bed now?
Directly.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their deaf pillows will discharge their secrets. More Nietzsche the divine than the physician. God forgive us all. Look after her. Remove from her all means of annoyance, and yet keep eyes upon her. So good night. In my mind she has made it and amazed my sight. I think, but dare not speak.
Good night. Good doctor.
Quince's bottom, fighting for stardom, a real show for the class. Flip finally started, once bottom half-hearted, and then he became a real ass.
Is all our company here?
Pat, pat. And here's a marvelous convenient place for our rehearsal. This shall be our stage, this our tiring house, and we will do it in action as we will do it before the Duke.
Peter Quince,
What sayest thou, Willie Bottom?
there are things in this comedy of Pyramus and Thisbe that'll never please. First, Thisbe must draw a sword to kill himself, which the ladies cannot abide. How answer you that?
I believe that we must leave the killing out when all is done.
Not a whit. I have a device to make all well. Write me a prologue. Let the prologue seem to say that we will do no harm with our swords, and that Pyramus is not killed indeed.
Well, we will have such a prologue, and it shall be written in 8 and 6.
No. Make it 2 more. Make it 8 and 8.
Will the ladies not be afeard of the lion?
Oh, I fear it. I promise you.
Masters, we ought to consider with ourselves to bring, God shield us, a lion among ladies is the most dreadful thing. For there is not a more fearful wild fowl than the lion living, and we ought to look to it.
Then another prologue must tell he is not a lion.
Nay, he must name his name, and half his face must be seen through the lion's neck. And he must say thus, or to the same effect, ladies, or fair ladies, I would wish you, or I would request you, I would desire you not to fear, not to tremble. My life for yours. For if you think I come hither as a lion, well, it were pity of my life. No, I am no such thing. I am a man as other men are. And there indeed, let him name his name and say plainly that he is Snug the Joiner.
Well, let it be so, but there is one thing. That is to bring moonlight into the chamber, for, you know, Pyramus and Thisbe did meet by moonlight.
Doth the moon shine that night we play our play?
A calendar. A calendar! Look in the almanac. Find out moonshine! Find out moonshine!
Yes, it doth shine that night.
Why then, you may put a casement of the great chamber window open where we play our play, and the moon may shine in at the casement.
Then there's another thing. That is to bring a wall into the great chamber, for, you know, Pyramus and Thisbe did speak through the chink of a wall.
You can never bring in a wall. What say you, Bottom?
Some man or other must present wall. And let him have some loam, or some rough cast, or some plaster about him to signify wall. And let him hold his fingers thus, so that Thisbe and Pyramus can speak through this cranny. And through that, they will whisper.
Well, if it shall be so, then all is well. Come, sit down, every mother's son, and let's rehearse your parts. Pyramus, you begin. Once you have spoken your speech, enter within that break, and so everyone according to his cue. Speak, Pyramus. Thisbe, stand forth.
Thisbe, the flowers of odious savors.
Odorous.
The flowers of odorous savors sweet, and so hath thy breath. But hark! A voice. Stay here a while, and by I will reappear to thee.
Must I speak now?
Aye, Mary, must you, for you must understand that he goes but to see a noise he heard and is to come again.
Most radiant Pyramus, most lily-white of hue, as truest horse that yet would never tire. I'll meet thee, Pyramus, at Ninny's tomb.
Ninnis's tomb. And why you must not speak that yet, that you answer to Pyramus and speak all your part at once. Cues and all, Pyramus, enter. Your cue is past. It is never tired.
As truest horse that yet would never tire.
If I were bare Thisbe, I were only the...
So we've prepared a rap for you this evening. With true love sprung from family's hate, Romeo had quite the bait. Running in to Capulet's garden, chasing after
Though Juliet's love was hard to find, it did not follow far behind. We leave you now with this lovely story, but not the end, 'cause it gets gory. Our scene is from Romeo and Juliet. We'll be doing the balcony scene, which is Act 2, Scene 2. It's directed by me, Willa Milcham-Bourne. Romeo is acted by Tyler Hernandez, and Juliet by Katie Lawrence, and they've done a great job, so please enjoy. Thank you.
But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who's already sick and pale with grief, that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, since she is envious. Her vestal livery is but sick and green, and none but fools do wear it. Cast it off! Oh, it is my lady. It is my love. Oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, yet she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses. I will answer it. I'm too bold. 'Tis not to me she speaks. Two of the fair stars in all the heaven having some business to entreat her eyes, to twinkle there in her spheres to the return. What if her eyes were there, they in her head? The brightness of her cheek would shame those stars. As daylight doth lamp, her eye in heaven would through the airy region stream so bright that birds would sing and think it went on night. Oh, see how she leans that cheek upon her hand. That it were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek.
Ay me!
She speaks. Oh, speak again, bright angel, for thou art as glorious to this night, being o'er my head as a winged messenger of heaven, and to the wet upturned wondering eyes of mortals who fall back to gaze upon him, when he bestrides the lazy puffing clouds and sails upon the bosom of the air.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or if thou wilt not be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's Montague? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face. It is some other name belonging to a man. What's in a name? That which we call a rose, by any other word would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes without the title. Romeo, doff thy name, and for thy name, which is no part of thee, take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me beloved and be new baptized. Henceforth I never will be Romeo.
Man art thou that thus bescreen at night, so stumblest on my counsel?
By name, I know not how to tell thee who I am. My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself because an enemy to thee. Had I written, I would tear the word.
I have yet not drunk 100 words of thy tongue's uttering, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo, and a Montague?
Oh, neither fair maid of either these like.
How camest thou hither? Tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place dead, considering who thou art. If any of my kinsmen find thee here.
With love's light wings that approach these walls, for stone limbs cannot hold love out, and love can do what dares love attempt. Therefore thy kinsmen are no stop to me.
If they do see thee, they will murder thee.
Alack, there lies more peril in thine eye than 20 of their swords. Look thou but sweet, and I am proof against their
I
enmity.
would not for the world they saw thee here.
I have night's cloak to hide me from their eyes. But thou love me. Let them find me here. My life were better ended by their hate than death probed wanting of thy
By
love.
whose direction finds thou this place?
By love that first did prompt me to inquire. He lent me counsel and I lent him eyes. I'm no pilot yet, wert thou as far as that vast shore washed with the farthest sea, I should adventure for such merchandise.
Thou knowest the mask of night is on my face. That's what it made him blush, bepaint my cheek for that which thou hast heard me speak tonight. Fain would I dwell on form, fain deny what I have spoke, but farewell compliment. Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word, yet if thou swearest, thou mayest prove false. Lovers' perjuries, they say, Jove laughs. O gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. For if thou thinkest I am too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse and say thee nay, so thou wilt woo, but else not for the world. Truth, fair Montague, I am too fond, and therefore thou mayest think my behavior light. But trust me, gentlemen, I'll prove more true than those that have more coin to be strange. I should have been more strange, I must confess, but that thou overheardst ere I was ware my true love passion. Therefore pardon me, and not impute this yielding to light love. which the dark night hath so discovered.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon, I vow that tips us over all these three treetops.
Swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon that monthly changes in her circled orb, lest that thy love prove likewise variable.
What shall I swear by?
Do not swear at all, or if thou wilt, swear by thy gracious self, which is the god of my adultery, and I'll believe thee.
If my heart's dear
Well,
love.
do not swear. Though I joy in thee, I have no joy of this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden. Too like the lightning, which doth cease to be, ere one can say it lightens. Sweet, good night. This bud of love by summer's ripening breath may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Good night, good night. Sweet repose and rest, come to thy heart as that within my breast.
Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine.
I gave thee mine before thou didst request it, and yet I would have word to give again.
Wouldst thou withdraw it? For what purpose, love?
But to be frank and give it thee again, yet I wish but for the thing I have. My bounty is as boundless as the sea. My love is deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite. Juliet! I hear some noise within. Dear love, adieu. Anon, good nurse! Sweet Montague, be true. Stay but a little, I will come again.
Oh, blessed, blessed night! I am afeard. Being a night, all this is but a dream. Too flattering sweet to be substantial.
3 words, dear Romeo. And good night indeed. As if thy bent of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow, by one that I'll procure to thee, where and what time thou wilt perform the rite, and all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay, and follow thee, my lord, throughout the world.
So thrive my soul.
I come anon, but if thou meanest not well, I do beseech thee. Madam! To cease thy strife and leave me to my grief, tomorrow will I send.
So thrive my soul.
1,000 times good night.
1,000 times the worse to want thy light. Love goes toward love as schoolboys from their books, but love from love towards school with heavy looks.
Hist, Romeo, hist! Oh, for a falconer's voice to lure this tassel gentle back again. Bondage is hoarse and may not speak aloud, else would I tear the key where echo lies, and make her airy tongue more hoarse than mine, with repetition of my Romeo.
It is my soul that calls upon my name. How silver sweet sound lovers' tongues by night, like softest music to attending ears.
Romeo,
My dear,
what o'clock tomorrow shall I send for thee?
by the hour of 9.
I will not fail. It's 20 years till then. I have forgot why I did call thee back.
Let me stand here till thou remember it,
I shall forget to have thee standing here, remembering how I love thy company.
and I shall still stay, forgetting any other home but this.
'Tis almost morning. I would have thee gone, and yet no further than a wanton's bird that lets it hop a little from his hand like a poor prisoner's twisted gyves, and plucks it back again with a silken thread, so loving jealous of his liberty.
I would I were thy bird.
Sweet, so would I, yet I should kill thee with much cherishing. Good night. Good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow.
Sleep dwell upon thine eyes, peace in thy breast. Would I were sleep and peace so sweet to rest. Hence I will go to my ghostly friar's cell, his dear help to crave, my dear hap to tell.
We find ourselves with Tybalt dead, Romeo gone and banished. The Capulets want Juliet wed, but she just wants to vanish. The show is dark, the air is foul, the scene is soon to close. So sit back, relax, enjoy the act as we follow Juliet's woes. This scene stars Esther as Juliet, Rachel as Lady Capulet, Zach as Capulet, and I as the director nurse. Thanks, enjoy.
O Fortune, Fortune, all men call thee fickle. If thou art fickle, what dost thou with him that is renowned for faith? Be fickle, Fortune, but then I hope thou wilt not keep him long, but send him back.
Oh, daughter, are you up?
Who is it that calls? Is it my lady mother? She not down so late or up so early?
but unaccustomed call cures her hither.
Why, how now, Juliet?
Madam, I'm not well.
Evermore weeping for your cousin's death? What, wilt thou wash him from his grave with tears? And if thou couldst not make him live. Therefore have done. Some grief shows much of love, but much of grief shows still some want of wit.
Yet let me weep for such a feeling lost.
So shall you feel the loss, but not the friend in which you weep for.
Feeling so the loss, I cannot choose but ever weep the friend.
Well, girl, thou weepest not so much for his death, as that the villain lives that slaughtered him.
What villain, madam?
That same villain, Romeo.
Villain, and he be many miles asunder. God pardon him, I do with all my heart. And yet no man like he doth grieve my heart.
That is because the traitor murderer lives.
I, madam, from the reach of these my hands would I none but venge my cousin's
We
death.
will have vengeance for it, fear thou not, and then weep no more. I'll send 20 men to all where that same banished renegade doth live, shall give him such an unaccustomed dram, he shall soon keep Tybalt company, and then I hope thou wilt be satisfied.
Indeed, I never shall be satisfied with Romeo till I behold him dead. Is my poor heart so for a kinsman vexed? Madam, if you could find out but a man to bear a poison, I would temper it, that Romeo should upon receipt thereof soon sleep in quiet. Oh, how my heart abhors to hear him named and cannot come to him, to wreck the love I bore my cousin upon his body that has slaughtered him.
Find thou the means, and I will find such a man. But now, I'll tell thee joyful tidings, girl.
And joy comes well in such a needy time. What are they, beseech your ladyship?
Well, well, thou hast a careful father, one who, to put thee from thy heaviness, hath sorted out a sudden day of joy that thou expects not, nor I look not for.
Madam, in happy time, what day is that?
Mary, my child, early next Thursday morn, at St. Peter's Church, the gallant, young, and noble the county Paris shall happily make thee there a joyful bride.
By St. Peter's Church, and Peter too! He shall not make me there a joyful bride. I wonder at this haste that I must wed, ere he that should be husband comes to woo. I pray thee, tell my lord and father, madam, I shall not marry yet, and when I do, I swear it shall be to Romeo, whom you know I hate. Rather than to Paris, these are news indeed!
Here comes your father. Tell him so yourself and see how he shall take it at your hands.
Oh!
How now? A convict girl? What, still in tears? Evermore showering? In one little body thou counterfeits a bark, a sea, a wind. For still thy eyes, which I may call the sea, do ebb and flow with tears. The winds they sighs, and they, raging with them, will overset thy tempest-tossed body. How now, wife? Have you delivered to her decree?
Aye, sir, but she will none. She gives you thanks. I would the fool were married to her grave.
Soft, take me with you, wife. How will she none? Doth she not give us thanks? Is she not proud? Doth she not count her blessed, unworthy as she is, thou not so worthy of a gentleman to be her bride?
Not proud you have, but thankful that you have. Proud can I never be of what I hate, yet thankful for hate that is meant love.
What is this chopped logic? Proud and I thank you not, and yet not proud? Mistress Minion, you thank me no thank yous, nor proud me no proud. But funny if I joins against Thursday's next, to go with bears to St. Peter's Church, I'll drive thee on a hurdle thither. Out, you green sickness Karen, out, you baggage, you tallow face!
Fie, what, are you mad?
Good father, I beseech you on my knees, hear me with patience, but to speak a word.
Hate thee, young baggage, disobedient wretch. I tell thee what, get thee to church on Thursday, or never have to look me in the face. Speak not, reply not, do not answer me. My fingers itch. Wife, we scarce thought us blessed that God had lent us but this only child. But now I see that this one is one too much, and we have a curse in having her. Out on her Hilding!
God in heaven bless her, you are to blame, my lord, to rate her so.
And why, my lady wisdom? Good prudence, matter with gossips, go!
I speak no treason.
Oh God, Egede him!
May not one speak?
Peace, you mumbling fool! Are you grabbing your gossip's bowl for hewing it at naught?
You're too hard.
God's bread, it makes me mad! Day, night, work, play, alone, in company. Still, my care hath been to have her matched. Now having provided a gentleman of noble parentage, a fair domain, youthful, nobly trained, stuffed, as they say, with honorable parts. and then to have a wretched, puling fool, a whining mammoth of her fortune sender, to answer, I'll not love, I cannot love, I pray you, pardon me! But an you not wed, I'll pardon you! Rage where you will, you shall not house with me. Think on it, Thursday is near, lay hand on heart, advise, and you be mine. I'll give you to my friend. Beg, starve, die in the streets. For by my soul, I'll never acknowledge thee. Trust to it. I'll not be forsworn!
There no pity sitting in the clouds? Season to the bottom of my grief? Sweet my mother, cast me not away. Delay this marriage for a month, a week, or if you do not, make the bridal bed in that dim monument where Tybalt lies.
Talk not to me, for I'll not speak a word. Do as thou wilt, for I've done with thee.
Nurse, how shall this be prevented? My husband is on earth, my fate in heaven. How shall that faith return again to earth? Unless that husband send it me from heaven by leaving earth. Comfort me, counsel me. Alack, alack, that heaven should practice stratagems upon so soft a subject as myself. What sayest thou? Hast thou not a word of joy? Some comfort, nurse.
Faith, here it is. Romeo is banished in all the world to nothing, that he dares near come back to challenge you. Or if he do, it needs must be by stealth. So since the case so stands as now it doth, I think it best you'd marry with the count. Oh, he's a lovely gentleman. Romeo's a dish club to him, an evil madam. That's not so quick, so green, so fair an eye as Paris hath. Beshrew my very heart. I think you are happy in the second match, for it excels your first, or if it did not, your first is better, for as good he was. And living here, have you no use of him? Speakest thou from my heart? And from my soul too, else beshrew them both.
Amen.
What?
While thou hast comforted me marvelous much, go in and tell my lady mother I am gone, having displeased my father, to make confession, to be absolved.
Mary, I will, and this is wisely done.
Ancient damnation! O most wicked fiend! Is it more sin to wish me thus forsworn than to dispraise my lord in that same tongue which ye hath praised him? The above compare so many thousand times. Go, counselor. Thou in my bosom henceforth shall be twain. To the friar, to know his remedy. All else fail. Myself have power to die.
Hang on to your seats, folks. It's about to get really confusing. Lysander loves Hermia. Hermia loves Lysander. They run off together into the woods because Hermia and Lysander are in love. But Demetrius follows in love for Hermia, and Helena follows in love for Demetrius. So, as you can see, this isn't really a love triangle, but more of a love quadrilateral. So, just in case you're really confused about how these relationships work, everyone loves Hermia, and no one loves Helena, ever, until one day both of the men are put under a love spell. What? So then, that is the start of our tale. Let's see which love shall prevail. Enjoy.
Do advance your cunning more and more. When truth kills truth, oh devilish holy fray! These vows are Hermia's. Will you give her over? Weigh oath with oath, and you will nothing weigh. Your vows to her and me, both put into scales, will even weigh as both as light as tails.
I had no judgment when to her I swore.
Nor none in my mind. Now you give her over.
Demetrius loves her, and he loves not you. Oh, Helena, goddess, nymph, perfect, divine,
To what, my love, shall I compare thine eyne? Crystal is muddy. Oh, how ripe and show thy lips, those kissing cherries tempting grow. Thy pure congealed white, high Taurus snow, fanned with the eastern wind, turned to a crow, and thou holdst up thy hand. Oh, let me kiss this princess of pure white, the seal of bliss.
Oh, spite! Oh, hell! I see you're all bent set against me for your merriment. If you were civil and knew courtesy, you would not do me thus much injury. If you were men, as men you are in show, you would not use a gentle lady so, to vow and swear and to praise my parts, when I know you hate me with your hearts. You are both rivals and love Hermia, and now both rivals to mock Helena. A trim exploit, a manly enterprise, all the conjure tears up in a poor maid's eyes with this foul derision. None of noble sort would so offend a virgin, and extort a poor soul's patience, all to make you sport.
You are unkind, Demetrius. Be not so, for you love Hermia, and this you know I know, and here with all goodwill, with all my heart, in Hermia's love, I yield you of my part. And yours of Helena, to me bequeath, whom I do love and will do till my death.
Never did mockers waste more idle breath.
Lysander, keep thy Hermia, I will none. If e'er I loved her, all that love is gone. My heart to her but as guest-wise sojourned, and now to Helen, it is home returned, there to remain.
Helen is not so.
Disparage not the faith thou dost not know, lest to thy peril thou buy dear. Look, where thy love comes, yonder is thy dear.
Dark night that from the eye his function takes, the ear more quick if apprehension makes, wherein it doth impair the seeing sense, and pays the ear double recompense. Thou art not by mine eye, Lysander, found, mine ear, I thank it, brought me to thy sound. But why unkindly did thou sleep me so?
Why should he stay, whom love doth press to go?
What love could press Lysander from my side?
Lysander's love, that would not let him bide. Fair Helena, who more engilds the night than all your fiery oes and eyes of light? Why seekst thou me? Cannot this make thee know the hate I bear thee made me leave thee so?
Speak not as you think, it cannot be.
Lo, she is one of this confederacy. Now I perceive they have conjoined all three to fashion this false sport in spite of me. Injurious Hermia, most ungrateful maid, have you conspired, have you with these contrived to bait me with this foul derision? Is all the counsel we two have shared, the sisters' vows, the hours we have spent, and we have chid the hasty foot of time for parting us. Was it all forgot? All school days' friendship, childhood innocence. We, Hermia, like two artificial gods, have with us created with one flower, both sitting on one sampler, both whirling of one song, both in one key. And will you rent our ancient love asunder, to join with men in scorning your poor friend? 'Tis not friendly, 'tis not maidenly. Our sex as well as I may chide you for it, though I alone do feel the injury.
I am amazed at your passionate words. I scorn you not. It seems as though you scorn me.
Have you not set Lysander, as in his scorn, to mock me and praise my eyes and face, and made your other love, Demetrius, who even now did but spurn me with his foot, to call me goddess, nymph, divine, and rare, precious, celestial? Wherefore speaks he this to her he hates? And wherefore doth Lysander deny your love so rich within his soul, and tender me forsooth affection? But by your setting on, by your consent, would I be not so engraced as you, so hung upon with love, but miserable most to love unloved? This you should pity rather than despise.
I understand not what you mean by this.
I do persevere. Cultivate sad looks, make mouths upon you when I turn my back, wink at each other, hold the sweet jest up. This sport will carry, it shall be chronicled. If you had pity, grace, or manners, you would not make me such an argument. But very well, 'tis partly my own fault, which death or absence soon shall remedy.
Stay gentle, Helena. Hear my excuse. My love, my life, my soul.
Oh, excellent.
Sweet, do not scorn her so.
If she cannot entreat, I can compel.
Thou canst compel no more than she entreat. Thy threats have no more strength than her weak prayers. Helen, I love thee. By my life I do. I swear by that which I will prove for thee, to prove him false that says I love thee not.
I say I love you more than he can do.
If thou sayest so, withdraw and prove it too. Quick, come.
Lysander, where to tense all this?
Away, you Ethiop.
No, no, he'll seem to break loose. Take on as you would fall, but yet come not. You are a tame man, go!
Oh, foul thing, let loose, or I will shake thee from me like a serpent.
Why have you grown so rude? What change is this, sweet love?
Thy love? Out, tawny Tartar, out! Out, loath medicine, hated potion, hence!
Do you not jest?
Yes, sooth, and so do you!
Demetrius, I will keep my word with thee.
I would have had your bond, for I perceive a weak bond holds you. I'll not trust your word.
What? Should I hurt her? Strike her? Kill her dead? Although I hate her, I'll not harm her so.
What can you do me greater harm than hate? Hate me, wherefore? Oh, what news, my love? Am not I Hermia? Are not you Lysander? I am as fair now as I was erewhile. Since night you loved me, yet since night you left me. Oh, you left me, the gods forbid in earnest, shall I say.
I bind my life, and never did desire to see thee more. Therefore, out of hope, of question, of doubt, be certain nothing truer. It is no jest that I do hate thee and love Helena.
Oh, me! You juggler! You canker blossom! You thief of love! What have you come by night? Stolen my love's heart from him?
Hi, babe! Have you no modesty? No maidenship? No touch of grandmother? What? Will you dare remain an answer from my gentle tongue? Fine, you counterfeit, you puppet, you!
Puppet? Why so? I now knows the game! Now I see she hath made compare between our statures, and with her height, forsooth, she hath prevailed with him! And what, am I grown so high in his esteem because I am so dwarfish and so low? How low am I, thou painted maypole? Speak! How low am I? I'm not yet so low, but that my nails can reach into thine eyes!
I pray you, though you mock me, gentlemen, let her not hurt me. I was never cursed. I have no gift in all this shrewishness. I'm a right mate for my cowardice. Although you may think she be something lower than myself, that I can match her.
Lower! Hark again!
Hermia, do not be so bitter with me. I evermore did love you, Hermia, did ever keep your counsels, never wronged you. Save that, in love unto Demetrius, I told him of yourself into this place. He followed you, for love I followed him. But he hath tried me hence, and threatened to strike me, spurn me, nay, kill me too. And now you will let me quiet go back to Athens, where I will bear my folly back and follow you no further. Please let me go, to see how simple and how fond I am.
Why get you gone? Who is it that hinders you?
A foolish heart that I leave here behind.
What, with Lysander?
With Demetrius.
Be not afraid, fair Helena. She shall not harm thee. No, sir! She shall not.
When she is angry, she is keen and shrewd. She was a vixen when she went to school, and although she be but little, she is fierce.
Little again! Nothing but low and little! Why will you suffer her to flaunt me thus? Let me come to her!
Get you gone, you dwarf! Minimus hinder and cross not made! You acorn!
You are too officious in her being out. Let's scorn your services.
Let her alone!
Speak not of Helena. Take not her part. For if thou dost intend never so little show of love to her, thou shalt abide.
Now she holds me not! Now follow if thou darest, to try who's right, in thine or mine, most in Helena. Follow!
Nay, I'll go with thee, cheek by Joel.
You mistress! All this coil is long of you! Nay, go not back!
I will not trust you. I will no longer stay in your cursed company. Your hands than mine are quicker for a fray, but my legs are longer though. To run away!
I am amazed and know not what to say.
Opening night had come.
Yet they were still missing their chum.
Then Bottom arrived.
And saves all their lives, all our scenes are finished but one.
Have you been to Bottom's house? Has he come home yet?
He cannot be heard of. Out of doubt, he's transported.
If he come not, then the play is marred. Goes not forward, doth it?
It's not possible. There's not a man in all Athens able to discharge Pyramus but he.
He hath simply the best wit of any handicraft man in Athens.
Yea, and the best person too. He is a very paramour for a sweet voice.
Where are these lads? Where are these hearts?
Oh, Bottom! Almost courageous day. Almost happy hour.
Masters, I am to discourse wonders, but ask me not what for, if I tell you I am no true Athenian. But I will tell you as it all fell out.
Oh, let us hear, sweet Bottom.
Not a word from me. All I will say is that the Duke hath dined. Gather your apparel together. Good strings to your beards, new ribbons to your pumps. Meet presently at the palace. And in any case, let this be wearing clean linen. And let not him that play the lion pare his nails, for they shall hang out his lion's claws. And my dearest actors, eat no onions nor garlic, for we are to utter sweet breath. For we are to utter sweet breath, and I have no doubt but to hear them say that it is a sweet comedy. No more words. Away! Go away!
So it looks like that's all the scenes we have for tonight. So we thank you for coming, and we hope you have a great rest of your